Hi everyone, it's John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here. And today is Science Fridays with John and How to Network. Today we have a great little physics experiment to share with you. And it actually revolves around Newton's second law. We're going to learn some really interesting things, and then we're going to tie that to people. Let's first turn on our scale. Let's turn that on right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these different items. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a film canister, okay, and that's 0.26 ounces. And I'm going to take something a lot heavier, 2.77 ounces. All right. If I was to take the film canister and this, logic would say that this would hit the ground first, right? I mean, because it's heavier. If you drop something heavier, obviously the heavier one would hit the ground. Let's see what happens. Other than it bouncing, they both hit the ground at the exact same time, didn't they? But why is that? Let's try something else. Let's take this empty plastic, which is at 0.65, all right? And let's go ahead and take this thing of like Play-Doh that I got at the dollar store. That's 1.68 ounces. Surely the Play-Doh's gonna fall first because it's heavy, right? Well, let's try it, right? Ooh. What the heck? They landed at the same exact time. All right, let's do one more. This is very confusing. All right, let's take this coaster. 1.17 ounces, right? And let's take the pen, 0.26 ounces. This is heavier, right? They landed at the exact same moment. Now I'm gonna do something that'll really baffle you. I'm gonna take some paper, crumple it up. I feel like grabbing the Scotch tape, the 3M tape. Ready? 1, 2, same thing. Okay. What happens if I drop these, guys? Are you ready? What do you think's gonna land first? What the heck? Something's messed up here. So the reason that this actually fell a lot slower than this is because this had air friction on it. And aerodynamics, that's why planes are, designed a certain way. Have you ever had to do this before? You take a piece of paper, I'm sure you've done this before, right? So now if I take this and I drop this, has a little bit different of a fall, doesn't it? My thing? Why did that do that? Aerodynamics, air friction, right? It didn't just fall straight. Now, the points are actually the trick to keeping it, and the way that the air actually hit it, but why does this actually work this way? Well, we actually demonstrated something called Newton's second law. Now, I won't bore you with all the details, but I do want to teach you something, because that's why you're here. The mass and the shape of an object does not affect its motion. I can take a pen, and I could take something like this, different mass. Now, it says from the same levels, if we took something here and here, for example, there was a difference, wasn't it? So you have to drop them at the exact same, approximately the same levels. Well, you know, Galileo, about 400 years ago, around 1959, actually went up on the Tower of Pisa. And so he stood on the very top and he dropped 2 balls. And he figured that if the angle was different, that one would fall faster. Guess what? They didn't. So the rule is that if the object's basically mass or the shape does not affect its motion. But why was it that when I took a piece of paper, ladies and gentlemen, like this, one went on the floor, why was it that this fell slower? Because it had air friction, okay? The air was getting in the way of it. All right, so how does this relate to people? Because you know that's what I'm always about. All right, if you take somebody and you give somebody a chance and you start somebody at the same level, so you give somebody the same level of trust, let's just say. And everybody starts off equally, usually when you get to know somebody. So if everybody starts at the same level, okay, then theoretically, everything is going to fall proportionally, unless there's some other extenuating factor or circumstance in their life that you don't know about. You know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's your air resistance. So if you took a group of people, and let's say there's 10 people, and you treated them all with the same respect, and let's say they all had similar backgrounds, you probably would have a very similar level of rapport building. But if, let's say, 1 or 2 people are not able to build rapport with you in that same manner, maybe there was something that happened. When somebody has an experience, that's what causes them to change, just like the air. So what we learned here is that people can build a connection or a bond, but when there's something that is underlying that you or I don't know about, it can affect. Just like we can see the resistance of this paper, but it's not obvious until we actually drop it. Same thing happens, ladies and gentlemen, with people. We think that they're all the same, but oftentimes they're not. We don't know what went in their life, what engrams were made. You know, when you were born many, many years ago, your brain actually started to learn programs, and these programs actually are what run your mind and body. Over 95% of what you do every day comes from your subconscious. So you're running programs right now that you don't even know you're running. So if there's something you're doing and you don't like it, you should know that you have the power to change it. The first step is if someone says to you something and you don't believe in it, you can just say, no thank you, I don't believe in that, or that's not the way I believe it is. And when you negate that, guess what happens? It blocks it out. So you can't do this overnight. It's a pattern. So these programs have gone into your head for a very long time. But now you have the power to remove these, what I call engrams. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this short little simple experiment. You could try this at home. You could get a scale. But the scale was here to show you that these are different weights. And, you know, if I take all these 3 items, this is probably an interesting thing. Let's take all 3 right now. They all dropped at the same exact point. So you can have lots of fun with this. I hope that you have found today's lesson valuable. And incidentally, if you have an idea for a science prize with John, let me know. You know, we actually visit schools in the local Morris, Passaic, and Bergen County area. And actually, we're working on breaking a Guinness Book World Record very soon. And we need a lot of you to help us make this a reality coming up in the next few months. So you can actually comment in this video, and one of our team members will reach out to you to get you involved with a project that's actually going to make history. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Please like, share, smash that bell notification icon so you get notified. Click subscribe, and you know I'm going to see you in another video real soon.